Hi guys and welcome to my channel. If you're new, my name's Ailey, thanks for watching. Today's video, it's going to be kind of like a story time video, I suppose. Well, kind of like it is going to be a story time video. I'm not really very good at these type of things because my memory sucks. So I wanted to share with you the story of, hold on a second. Oh, I need to get comfy. So I wanted to share with you the story of how I got my tongue pierced. Now, the reason that I kind of thought about doing it was I was actually going through my analytics and stuff like that, and I was just looking at what videos did well and stuff. So I had a look, and my tattoo and piercing tag is probably one of my most watched videos. So thank you guys so much for that, everybody that's watched it. Rewind many years ago. I think I was 15 or 16. 15. I might have been younger actually, so maybe 14 or 15. Anyway, like I said, my memory sucks. So my sister and I were down in Glasgow with my gran, and I think we were down, yeah, we were down on the train. I can't remember what it was that we were down there for. Anyway, she decided that she wanted to get a tattoo and we were gonna go over, and I'm not sure that it's still even there, but Terry's tattooists in Glasgow. Anyway, so we went all the way over there to go and see about getting a tattoo. So of course she went in and she decided, right, okay, yes, I'm gonna get a tattoo done. She picked her tattoo, and I think that it was just a case of waiting for your turn, and then, you know, you could go in and just sit down and get it done. So she picked this little sort of green thistle thing, because obviously we are Scottish, so thistles, you know, it makes sense. But it was kind of cute. She hated it, and she's actually got it covered up now. But yeah, I hate these places where you can just go in and pick something off the wall and literally get it done there and then. It's not my style at all. No shade to anybody who does do that sort of stuff, but it's just really not for me. Anyway, so of course I decided, yeah, why not try it? I'll just get a tattoo as well. At like 14 years old. That was never gonna happen. Anyway, so I of course decided to ask, and I was like, oh, do you know, I could have probably used my sister's passport as ID. I know, not allowed, but I probably could have used it had she not literally just used it. It was like 5 minutes earlier and it was a different person, so I may have gotten away with it, but yeah, probably in hindsight it was quite a good thing that could have happened. So yeah, I basically got told, not a chance in hell, please leave. So of course I was like, well, I really wanted to get a tattoo, so what the heck am I gonna do? I have to do something. My sister's getting a tattoo, and because she was my older sister, you know what it's like. It's like, oh, you've got pink shoes. I want pink shoes. You have red in your hair. I want red in my hair. It's just a natural thing, and I was really bad for it. I always copied my sister. I always like tried to kind of one-up her and stuff like that. So my gran pipes up and says, didn't you want to get a piercing? And I'm like, a what? Didn't I want to get, oh, maybe, yeah, why? And she goes, well, I'm sure there was like a piercing place. And I was like, right, okay, fair enough. She's like, well, if you want to get it and you need a parent or guardian to sign something, I can do it. Now, this was completely not known by my mum and dad. That it was just, of course, I was like, hell to the yeah, my gran is the coolest gran on the planet right now. So of course we went in and that was fine. I think that I had to wait a wee while because my sister was actually done getting her tattoo by the time I went in. So they asked me what I wanted, and I was like, I want my tongue pierced. And because it was so spur of the moment, I mean, I'd wanted it done for ages, but because it was so spur of the moment, I was like, yep, this is what I'm gonna get done. My sister's getting a tattoo, I'm getting my tongue pierced. Anyway, my gran was like, great, yeah, that's an awesome idea, I'll sign the form. So she signed all the forms for me and all that, and then I had to come back when it was time to get my appointment. So my sister was obviously done, and she's like, you're getting what done? Can I watch? So of course, we're going in, you know, everything's happening, blah blah blah. I get like a sterile mouthwash to wash out my mouth and stuff like that. And she comes round in with me, and this place was like, it was like a really small place. It was nothing fancy, and there was just this one girl, and she was lovely from what I can remember. And of course, like, my sister's like, all right, okay, do you want me to hold your hand? I was like, she's like, do you want me to hold your hand? And I was like, that probably be for the best. I might, you know, lose my tongue here. So the girls obviously, you know, got me this Swirl-Dish round. I spit it out and that, and then she gets a tissue, like kitchen roll, and puts it over her hands basically and grabs a hold of my tongue. And I'm like, okay. And she pulls it out and she's like, all right, okay, yeah, having a look, you know, underneath my tongue, side of my tongue, and top of my tongue. And I'm like, I really hope my breath doesn't smell. So she's like, right, okay, because you're tongue tied, you are either gonna have to have it really far forward or squint. Now I went for squint, as I'll show you now. So it's got quite a good amount of squintness, if that even makes sense. It's got a good tilt in it, so I was quite happy with that. That was fine. I can't actually remember. I mean, I know when you get piercings, you get like a little pen, you mark it, but I can't imagine that would stay in your mouth. Maybe she marks the top. I don't know. Anyway, so of course, I was really ballsy back then, so it really didn't bother me. I didn't even really feel nervous about it. So of course, she pulls out the needle. She's like, this size. And I'm like, okay. And my sister's more nervous than I am. I am pretty sure she either went in from the bottom or went in from the top, obviously, because there's no other option really, but she either went in from the top, flipped my tongue upside down and then pushed it out the top, or she went in from the bottom and did the same and pushed it down. I'm pretty sure it was from the top, flipped it upside down and then through the bottom. So it wasn't a case of one quick in and through, it was a case of in, flip, up, round, you know. It took way too long for that needle to go through my tongue, put it that way. But anyway, that was fine. I didn't even really feel it, which is kind of weird because if you bite your tongue, it really hurts. So it was all done, that was fine. She was then getting the jewellery, and the jewellery, I wish I could find my old bar. The jewellery is like this size, no joke, it literally just fits in your mouth and no more. Or mine, of course, used to get stuck in between my outside teeth because it was so long and so squint. Your tongue will go that size. I did not know this. And I was like, why is that bar so long? And of course, yes, again, explained it to me, and it was fine. I was like, right, okay, this is still like the coolest thing I've ever done in my life. My mouth is now full of blood. My sister nearly passed out. She squeezed my hand more than I squeezed her hand, and she's like, that's the most gross thing I've ever seen in my life. And everything's fine. She tells me what to do, and they leave. And I am starving by this point, and my mouth is literally numb, just numb, like I'd been at the dentist. So of course we decide to walk along the road, and I have now the biggest lisp of my life. I'm on phones. I'm like, hi mum. Never guess what I just did. She's like, you sound weird, are you okay? I'm like, I just got my tongue pierced. And my gran bursts out laughing, and she's like, oh yeah, we didn't tell her, did we? So of course my mum thinks it's funny. She's like, I cannot believe that you've just done that. I can't believe that my mother, my gran, has just done that. And she just seen the fun in it, and she thought it was funny. She's like, well, it's your body at the end of the day. Just don't come crying to me, and make sure that you look after it properly. So of course we went to McDonald's. That was fine. I was basically eating chips like a teeny weeny hamster. Like, that was all fine. I mean, obviously it was really achy. I had painkillers to take, and I had to do salt rinses twice a day, sometimes 3 times, depending on what I'd eaten. So I get home, and I've obviously broached the subject with my mum, and I of course expected her to broach the subject with my dad, because, you know, I didn't want to do it. To put it into context, I think at about 12 years old or something like that, I'd got my nose pierced, and he stopped talking to me until I took it out. But yeah, he did not talk to me for like a week and a half, so the nose went. So I was terrified, and I was like, oh crap. So the next day or something like that, we had to go to Oban, and I had to go to Oban with my uncle and my dad in the same van. And my mum hadn't told him yet, and I was like, what am I gonna do? I can only imagine how I sounded with a lisp. Anyway, so I had to go in this van with my dad and my uncle. So I was just kind of like the quietest I had ever been in my whole life. A few weeks later, my mum mentioned something about it, and he was like, you what? And then he was like, oh yeah, I knew all along. And I was like, So there's a good tip. If you're not letting your parents know that you're getting something done, let them know long after you've had it done, because the reaction will never be as bad. After 2 weeks, when your tongue returns to its normal size, that's a good day. You have to switch out your bar, obviously, because your bar will be really, really, really big. So I actually got, or I didn't get, a friend of mine who I used to actually work for, my sister used to work for her as well, Lisa, she actually said to me, oh well, when it's time to change your bar, let me know, because it's really, really difficult to do yourself. And I went down to the restaurant that we all worked in, and I was like, right, it's time, let's get this done. So we're in the back of the restaurant and she's like, now don't worry if you're gonna drill on me. She has my tongue out. She has either end of the bar and she has my tongue fully out of my mouth, and she's trying to get the balls off of this tongue stud, and I'm like dribbling. I mean, I have like blue roll tissue underneath my chin trying to catch the slivers. It was disgusting. It's worse than like being at the dentist. So I actually had to go and get my dad to get us a pair of pliers, and she got a pair of pliers on one side and held the other side and ratcheted it open. I didn't lose a tooth, I don't know, but yeah, I was dribbling everywhere. To get the new one back in, it was much, much easier, but that was just the most, apart from getting the piercing itself, that was the weirdest experience of my entire life. And if anybody knew Lisa, she was just the funniest person on the planet. So, it couldn't have been, I don't think I would have trusted anybody else with my mouth. Or, you know, I barely trust a dentist. So that is my story of getting my tongue pierced. So I really hope that you found it entertaining or found it interesting. If you're thinking about going to get your tongue pierced, or you've had it pierced and you've had a really weird experience, don't feel so bad about it, because I think if somebody's going to shove a needle through your tongue, it's going to be pretty weird. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, I would love if you would give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I do post videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye!